Guys, quick question. Would you advise Semenyo to stay at Bournemouth for next season or leave to a club that is going to play in Europe? Let me know your answers down below in the comments. In today's video, we are going to talk about Semenyo, talk about Inaki Williams, and also talk about Osman Bukari amongst many others. But before we jump into it, please make sure to like, subscribe, and also turn on notification. My name is Adam. You're watching SportsCornerGH. Quickly, let's jump into it. Let's talk about Semenyo. This season, he's doing excellently well. He has surpassed his personal best. Last season, he scored 8 goals. This season so far, he has scored 11 goals. And a lot of clubs are interested in him, not only because of the goals or the assists he's providing, but also the impact he's having in games for Bournemouth, how explosive he is, how aggressive he can be when he's pressing the opponents. Semenyo has every single quality to play in a top club, and the clubs interested in him have already started making moves. In my recent video, I told you Manchester United executives have begun talks with Semenyo, and that though would be realistic only if Manchester United can win the Europa League. The latest club that have shown serious interest in Semenyo is Newcastle United. Now, Newcastle United have made inquiries concerning the conditions necessary to sign Semenyo, and they have been told that the asking price for Semenyo is between 50 to 70 million euros. For me, I think it's on the higher side. But then these clubs, they can afford it. They can afford it. They can negotiate and pay in installments, or they can bring a fixed amount and also let the rest be on add-ons, or they can do player plus cash. They can do whatever negotiations they want to do. But then Semenyo, I want to see him play in Europe next season. That's why I asked you at the beginning of the video whether he should stay at Bournemouth or play in the club that is going to feature in Europe next season. But as for Europe, we have it in different types. So we have UEFA Champions League, we have the Europa League, and we have the Europa Conference League. As for Conference League, we don't like Conference League. You should either go to a club that is going to feature in the Champions League or the Europa League. How many of you watch the Conference League? If it's not for Chelsea, most of you will not watch. Let's be very honest with ourselves. Europe, no, there will be difference. That is the truth. I want the best for our players. If Semenyo is going to choose a club, the club should be playing either Europa League or the Champions League. That is the biggest stage. That is the stage that people would be watching so that you can showcase your skills. So for me, I want to see Semenyo play in Europe. But then let me also hear from you down below in the comments. And this is the update that has to do with the player. Now let's move away from Semenyo and talk about Inaki Williams. The latest update concerning the player himself is that he's injured. And because of that, he did not even feature in the second leg Athletic Club played against Manchester United in the semi-finals of the Europa League. So directly, that seems like a bad news. But today, we had good news concerning the player. Do you know Inaki Williams have not played the UEFA Champions League before? Ombobida. He has not played before. Since he made his debut for Athletic Club. Ombobida. But the good news is that yesterday, after Athletic Club beat Getafe, they have qualified for the UEFA Champions League and for the first time in 10 years. And for Inaki Williams, for the first time in his footballing career, he's going to play Champions League. I'm happy for the player. I'm happy for him because he's putting in the work. But sometimes people are not seeing it because he's not playing on the bigger stage. Inaki Williams is not being talked about. I feel like he's one of the underrated players in the Spanish La Liga. Because you hear Olami Yamar, you hear Mbappe, you hear Lewandowski, you hear Rafinha. But no one is talking about Inaki Williams. Now, this is the reason why I feel like he's underrated. Listen to this. He has scored 6 goals and given 6 assists in the Spanish La Liga. He's the 3rd highest assist provider in the Spanish La Liga. He's also the 2nd highest goal scorer in Athletic Club. He has scored 5 goals and provided 1 assist in the Europa League. Where any numbers, Papa? Good numbers, Sonny. But then he's not being talked about. No. He's underrated because Athletic Club, they're only featuring in the league, Europa League, people were not even following Bilbao like that until recently they played in Manchester United. And they did not get their date. The red card issue and everything. So I feel like Champions League there, that is la creme de la creme. That is where they separate the boys from the men. When you go there, you showcase your skills. So I'm happy for Inaki Williams. This is an excellent news concerning the player. I believe that he's underrated for too long. he now has the stage to show everyone what it's about. Next season, I want to see more. I want to see him play against the big boys. Let me see what he can do. But then, guys, this is the latest update concerning Inaki Williams. He's injured. I don't know if he'll be part of the squad or to others be to link for the friendly in May against Nigeria. But then we are yet to know about that. So, guys, let's move away from Inaki and talk about Osman Bukari. You see, this life, yeah? Sometimes you need to make good choices. You need to make good decisions. Now, when Osman Bukari was Osman Bukari, this country, we couldn't stop talking about him. What I'm talking about is that when he signed for Red Star Belgrade in 2022, he was fantastic. Champions League, what? He was scoring goals against the big boys, Manchester City. He scored a goal against them. And we talked about it. We hyped him. We're like, hey, champion player. He even ended up going to the World Cup and scoring a goal against Portugal and doing the shoe. Yes, that is the Osman Bukari I'm talking about. And then he decided to leave Red Star Belgrade in the summer. Now, with the Red Star Belgrade, he played 78 matches, scored 25 goals, and gave 20 assists. See, he was the top of town everywhere. Everybody was expecting big things from the 26-year-old. We believe that someone who has played the Champions League and everything there, your next club should be in England or be in the Italian Serie A or the Spanish La Liga. Look at how explosive he is as a winger. Only for us to hear that he was going to the MLS, Austin FC, designated player. I mean, people were talking that, hey, MLS there, people forget about you. Oh, we came here and we're defending, oh, forget. Say Messi for MLS never. Guys, see, you and I know we have forgotten about Osman Bukari because it has not really gone well at the MLS club, Austin FC. At Austin FC, he has played 24 games, scored 2 goals and given 3 assists. And fire, no far, you understand? If at MLS club, won't mean share goals be there. And fire, you get me? And as at this point, there are speculations that Austin FC Nankasa Felicia player, he's not giving them what they paid for. So they want to let him go. Immediately, Red Star Belgrade heard this. They were like, sharp. We know what this player has done for us before. You want him again. So what I'm trying to say is that there were reports suggesting that Red Star Belgrade want to re-sign Osman Bukari from Austin FC. And they are willing to put him on top of all the targets. Their targets for the summer transfer. See, immediately they heard speculations that Austin FC wanted to let go of Osman Bukari. They made him their number 1 target for the summer because they know what the player has done. Hey, as I said, when Osman Bukari was the Osman Bukari, who were you? Charlie, forget then he did dribble, he did ball, he have the pace. Then he did play better. He was any call up to the national team. Morocco MLSE, call up to him, he wasn't getting. He's not scoring goals. He's not performing very well. Big problem for him. So to me, I feel like this is a second chance for him. He should grab it with 2 hands and run back to Europe. Very, very important. But then, guys, this is the update that has to do with Osman Bukari. Now, let's talk about the last update. It has to do with Brian Brobbey. Yeah, Brian Brobbey is a Dutch-born Ghanaian player. He says he will not come to us. He wants to play for the Netherlands. You say you are not saying anything. But then this update is interesting. But then listen to what I have to say about the player. Brian Brobbey plays for Ajax. This season for Ajax, he has scored 4 goals and given 3 assists in 29 appearances. Now, this player has been longing to leave Ajax. And then though, he has left Ajax before on loan, went to the Leverkusen and came back to Ajax. It got to a point. On any Kudus, Brian Brobbey and Kudus were fighting for the same position. But as Kudus as a star boy, I mean, he took on that position every single time. But then when Kudus left, the whole thing fell on his shoulders and he played the position for a very long time. This is a player that has been linked to a lot of clubs. The latest update is that Everton are interested in signing the player. Now, David Moyes is the new coach of Everton. And I've already told you that they are planning to sign a Ghanaian player, Jerome Opoku from Ghana. The next player they are targeting is another Ghanaian, Brian Brobbey. And they are willing to table down 40 million euros to Ajax to sign the player. But then other clubs are also doing to under and are looking for this player. I'm talking about West Ham United. West Ham want the player and Tottenham, but they want the player on loan. They wanted the player on loan. And this is the situation with Brian Brobbey. Let me know your thoughts about it down below in the comments. Let me do last one. Let me add last updates. I'm sure you are going to like this. Black Stars debutants in the last international break, Lawrence Agyekum has secured a permanent move to Cercle Brugge. Now, the thing people don't know is that he was on loan in that club. He was from Red Bull Salzburg and went on loan to Cercle Brugge. But when he went on loan, he impressed. He impressed to the extent that there were other clubs who were willing to sign him permanently. Now, these clubs were Nantes and also Strasbourg. All these clubs wanted to sign him. And when I heard Nantes, I was like, hey, don't go to Nantes. Look at where they are on the French bigger table. He should go to Strasbourg. Strasbourg have high chance of playing in Europe next season. So he should go to Strasbourg. Only for me to hear that Cercle Brugge have sat the guy down in the room and I've told him a lot of things. See, we'll give you more money. You'll get more playing time. You'll get this bonus stats. They sacked the guy's brain. And the guy decided that, okay, I mean, since you guys want me, why not? Because the loan, it was loan with an option to buy. And then Cercle Brugge decided to exercise that purchase option. So as I'm speaking to you now, the player has signed permanently with Cercle Brugge until 2029. Excellent. I'm happy for him. So guys, this is where I'm going to end it with my last update. Let me know what you think about all this down below in the comments. Thanks for joining me. My name is Adam. I'll make sure to see you in the next one with more updates. My name is Adam. Charlie, we go bye.